Good morning everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel Bird's Eye Stitches. Today is Saturday, it is July 11th, which means it has been a solid month since I have been on here chatting with all of you. Far too long. So, if you are still with me, then thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And if you're new to my channel, then welcome. This is a channel about cross stitch. So I hope that you are here because you also have a love of cross stitch, just like I do. I've had actually quite a few new subscribers in this month since I last filmed. And so I'm guessing I may have had a couple of shout outs here and there. So just like I am behind in the land of filming, I am also woe behind in the land of watching Flosstube. I don't think I have watched a single video, not even one, in probably 2 weeks. So I started to watch some this morning, and I knew that if I continued watching the Flosstube while I was stitching, that it would take up my time, and I really wanted to get back in here because I miss talking with all of you guys and sharing what I've been up to. So instead, I didn't even shower. I'm still in my pajamas, but that's okay. I'm here, we're filming, we're talking cross stitch. I have a couple FFOs, 2 FFOs, little bit of whips, a little bit of haul, maybe a little bit more haul because it has been a month, so there's that. I have the giveaway from last month's video. Feels kind of funny to say last month's video, but it is last month's video. Normally I don't put a comment up, right? I don't comment on your comment if you're the winner, but I think since it's been a whole month, I don't expect that winner is going to be watching or waiting for this video to see if she won. And so I will put a comment up on hers to let her know that she is the winner. Spoiler alert, the winner is a female because I did say she, so congratulations there, I guess. Yeah, we will jump right into it. So we'll start with the FFOs. This first one is a FFO and a new start since last time I saw you guys. I know I talked about a friend of mine, Tammy. She had mailed me a box of tea, a nice box of loose leaf tea, and I have been enjoying that thoroughly. But to say thank you, because she's also a crafter, I wanted to make her just something small. I reached out to her husband and he said that her favorite colors were purple and green. Gold star to her husband for knowing what her favorite colors were. And I had purple and green in my stash, obviously. Then I went into my ginormous pile of cross stitch magazines because I have a lot of cross stitch magazines. I think in the year 2021, because I'm already planning for 2021, it might be the year of magazines. Not saying I will only stitch from magazines, but there will be some magazine work every single month because I have like over 100 magazines, you guys. It's kind of ridiculous. But I was able to take out this issue. It is Cross Stitcher issue number 177. Looks like this. And I loved the Mr. Men book series whenever I was a kid, and I think that Tammy will know what it is as well. But if she doesn't, that's okay because this guy is cute. I ended up stitching Mr. Naughty, which is this guy here, into a card. I used some scrap Aida, 14 count Aida, 2/1 with some DMC floss. Looks like this. He turned out super cute. Obviously, I had to alter it just a tiny little bit because I did not stitch old Mr. Tickle. So I had to alter right here where the hand was, but pretty simple. If I can alter it, it's pretty simple. Then I put him into a little piece of cardstock and made him into a card. Now I am not a card maker. I have seen some beautiful cards, both on Flosstube. I've received some beautiful cards. They have card making magazines out there. It is a craft that I would like to do one day, but that maybe one day. Until then, I think she will enjoy this card. It simply says thank you. There's some writing on the inside, of course, but I think she will like it. So now that I have shown that, I can head to the post office this afternoon and get that mailed out to her. All right, the next thing that I finished, or fully finished, is Kerglaff. You guys saw that finish a few videos ago. I visited my local Goodwill and found, sorry for the glare, found this frame. This frame is a perfect color for my home. Plus it was Goodwill, so you can't beat that. I found the mat at Michael's, and it's actually a little bit, try to move it this way. It's a little bit off center, to be honest, but that's okay. It was perfectly centered. I didn't tack it down really when I was doing the framing piece. So when I was putting the back in, it kind of moved it all around. So maybe one day I will go in and fix it, but the back is so tight that I put it all together, and then I was gonna see how it looked with the intention of reopening it back up to actually put it in there officially. But once I put the back on, I couldn't get the back off. So it's gonna require a tool because it's really in there. And to be honest, if it required a tool, that was too much work for me, and so it now sits in my bathroom just like this, and it's a-okay. A-okay with me. The idea with this is that it would go in my guest bathroom so that one day when we have guests again, if they use the restroom, it might be something that they can look at and something that they can chuckle at a little bit. I would say a conversation piece, but I don't really know that you need a conversation piece in the bathroom. That might get weird, but it accomplishes all the things that I wanted. So that one is fully finished. It is framed and it will be in my house, and I enjoy it. All right, next up, I had to fix the needle on this because it was getting a little bit wonky there. But next up is my travel piece. So in this last month, we've done a few road trips. Obviously not a whole heck of a lot of traveling, but my family does live up north from me. To get there, it's about 2.5 hour drive. And as you probably know, the state of Arizona, we have had a lot of wildfires, unfortunately. And those wildfires have shut down our highways here and there. And I prefer to take back roads. I think that they're just more scenic and it makes for a nicer drive for me personally. But when the freeway is shut down, then it forces everybody else to also take those back roads. So what used to be a 2-hour drive is maybe more of a 3.5 hour drive. So I bring my cross stitch. I don't get to work on it the entire time we're driving just because I would get horribly car sick if I tried to do it for that long, but there's been a few stitches here and there. So one day it will look like this. It is a Mill Hill buttons and beads kit. It is called Magic Shoes. It's a kit, so called for everything, and this is where we're at. So I got the rest of the stockings done. We are starting to I'll put some green down here in the bottom. I believe everything that is this color green is now complete. So I have now switched colors and I moved into the orange. I don't know why I do this, but when I am stitching a Mill Hill kit, maybe not every time, but for the most part, when I'm doing a Mill Hill, I stitch by color. So instead of stitching, starting from the center or starting at the top left, I will usually begin the piece in the center, and whatever color is being used, I will stitch everything in that color. And then I'll kind of start working my way up into the top corner, and I'll do the same thing. So once I got here, I started using this color and I stitch everything I can in that color. Now, if there's something really far away, for example, this black, I think there might be some black down here in this corner, but just so I don't completely mess it up. I maybe won't do the counting to get there, but for the most part, I stitch all of one color at a time. I don't know that I would recommend that for other people because, you know, it's a great way to miscount and to have some mistakes in there, but I don't know. Cross-country stitching for the win on Mill Hill. I don't do that. Sometimes I do that, but it's not the norm for most other projects, but Mill Hill, every time. Maybe it's the perforated paper. I don't know what it is, but I got a little bit of stitching done on that. That is a Halloween piece, so I would really like to see it done by Halloween. So it may make its way out of the car and into my stitch pile, just so I can say it's done and have it ready by Halloween. And I think I'm just ready for a new car piece. I've been working on this one for a very, very long time because I only do a little bit at a time. So I'm ready. I'm ready for a change, ready for a car change. All right, let's see. So back June 5th was my last video. I know that because it was on my daughter's birthday. Easy to remember. That week I took out Bluebird Rhapsody. Will one day look like this. You guys saw this for the first time in May. It was a Mania start. I'm stitching it on a light lime Belfast linen that I got at the Attic, which is my local needlework shop. It's a 32 count and I'm stitching it 2/2. So we are here. When I took this out, I had only done this teeny tiny little section, and so I have done all the way up to the top of the tree, some little spots along the top, and some branches. So again, I was just stitching in the one color. Maybe I am a one color stitcher, actually. Maybe I am. But so we're here, and I've done all of this area up here. I think for this piece, I'm going to leave out the crowns. I just don't really I don't know that I love them enough. I love everything else about this piece, and I'm gonna do the whole rest of it. But I think I would rather have some open space than the crowns. I don't know. What do you think? I don't think that would look weird, but we'll see. Maybe I'll stitch everything except for the crowns and see how I feel. See how I feel at the end. We'll see. But made a pretty good amount of progress on this guy, and I love stitching on it because I just really like this linen. It's nice and soft. It's a really pretty, cheerful green. It's not, you know, it's not overpowering. It's not like in your face green. It's a nice, that's pretty true to color. It's a light lime. That is a perfect description. It's like lime sherbet, what it reminds me of. All right, after that, the following week, and when I say week at a time, I did not get very much stitching done, you guys, in this past month. That is part of why I haven't been on here, because I just haven't, not so much I haven't had the time, but I haven't made the time. I haven't devoted the time that I did have to my stitching, which is kind of odd, but you know, I feel like, you know, everybody is going through some version of the same thing right now with COVID and everything else happening. Just trying to find that work, life, home balance when life has been so topsy-turvy, upside down everywhere. I know for me personally, I do a lot of working from home these days, which I am very thankful for, truly. Thankful to have a paycheck and thankful to be able to work from home. But when I am working from home, I'm working in this room. I take down, you know, right now I just have my cell phone up for filming, but the filming part is obviously put away and my computer comes out and I work a 10-hour shift. And so I'm in this room for 10 plus hours a day. And I think at the end of the day, I was not inspired to stay in the room or to even work on my crafting. And so when I figured out that correlation, I've made some changes. And so, you know, just being aware of it is helpful. Now I'm filming in here this week, but I may film downstairs next week just to kind of mix it up a little bit, bring in some color. It's not quite as white and beige downstairs. Change it up just a little bit. But, and I don't necessarily work from this room quite so much anymore. I'm in here if I have to do some paperwork, but if I'm on meetings and whatnot, I move around, so mix it up. Okay. I'm sure all of you guys are having some version of the same weirdness going on in your life, but that has been my piece, and I think that it is why I have been gone for so long. So that's okay. Back in filming. All right, so weird segue, but I did get a little bit of stitching in on my long dog sampler, the Pilgrim. This, you all have seen this before, but this is what the finished piece will look like. I am stitching it on a piece of gray and purple Be Stitch Me fabric. It is a 36 count linen, 2/2, and we got to here. So last time you guys saw this, I only had this little corner done, and I think a little bit of this roof, maybe this much. So I've done that much more. I am stitching this in the color Blanc DMC. I prefer B5200, honestly, but I had picked up a big giant bag of DMC thread, probably on like a Facebook marketplace or something like that. And whoever the owner of that bag was she must have had a project she was working on, because there was probably 15, if not more, skeins of DMC Blanc. So that is the color I had on hand, and so that is the color I am stitching this in, and it is turning out really nicely. I love the white against the gray. I mean, shocker, I know, it's gray and white. It's got to bring in some yellow, and there you have the color that I use in almost every single piece, but I love it. All right, after that piece, that was pretty much it for the month of June. So, like I said, not a whole heck of a lot. The Mr. Men, the Pilgrim, and Bluebird Rhapsody. Yeah, that's what I worked on for the month of June. Then July hit. I am participating in Jolly July, and so my version of Jolly July is going to be 4 Christmas projects, so 1 every week, roughly. 4 projects until I know that another 24-hour of cross stitch is coming up at the end of the month. So during that, I plan to work on some Christmas ornaments. So I will have more of those. But for the most part, it's going to be monogamous stitching of 1 Christmas cross stitch piece per week-ish. I got kind of a late start in July because July was a little bit crazy so far, but now it's evening out, thank goodness. So I was able to take out Mirabilia's The Christmas Elf Fairy. This is another one that I started during Mania. I got it as a kit, so it is called for Classic Collarworks, and I did switch out the fabric. I did not want to use the natural linen that it came with because well, it's Christmas, and I like sparkle with my Christmas. So I pulled out a piece of Vanilla Latte by Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. It's a 28 count linen, and it is an opal. So I have this much done. You can really see the opal coming through. It's really nice. I love this fabric. I love Be Stitch Me. I buy from Brandy on Be Stitch Me practically every week. Love it to death. However, I must say that the Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, the actual fabric it comes on, to me, it just feels a little bit softer, or a little bit, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I think all of my special pieces end up being on Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie so far. That may not always be the case because I have some coming up that are on Be Stitch Me fabric, but every time I pull out a piece of this, I remember I love that fabric. So anyway, last time you saw it, I had done this dark red color. I had just done this little bit here, maybe a little bit up into the top, but for the most part, that was it. I've done quite a bit of red stitching there. Got all the rest of this top area done, and now I'm into the dress. So it kind of threw me off because I was working here and I was going to just kind of start filling all of this in. So then I went into the floss, and I was looking for a lighter red, and I thought, uh-oh, do I not have a called for color? Because I have the dark red and I have this red, and I expected this to be a lighter red. So then I actually, looked at the pattern to figure out what color does it actually call for. And it turns out it's pink. So that completely threw me off. I don't know why, but I thought it would be all red. So I still kind of wonder if I want it to be more reds. I don't know. I'm gonna look at the floss and see if it calls to me. If it doesn't, she may just have another shade of red. We'll see. But she is really pretty. She's actually been a very quick stitch. You can't tell because I've only done this much, but this much did not take all that long. So I'm hoping to have her finished in the next couple of months. Even after this week, I think she's gonna stay out in my rotation just to continue on, because I really love her. She will be my first Mirabilia ever. So I want to get her done. I'm also using a grime guard from Garon Toten Bags. It is not Christmassy, but it's the closest I had because it was red. Obviously it's Cupid, so it's Valentine's Day. I'm on the hunt for some Christmas grime guards and some Christmas stitch bags because I don't have any, and I love Christmas. I love Christmas stitching. All right, that was it for whips and finishes. Yeah, that was it. I do have haul. Like I said, it's been a month, so I do have some haul. Not a whole heck of a lot. I know I've said this before. I said this in January, but I recommitted, and so starting in July, so starting this month, I am doing a true stitch from stash, a real one. Well, a real one, and there might be some modifications. For example, my monthly budget is $25. I did $25 because I like Friday Night Fight Night, and typically what I pick up from there is usually $25. So by having that budget, it allows me to pick up one fabric per month if I so choose, or something else, but it was still a decent budget. So $25 a month budget, and then for every finish, obviously I accrue. But then what I am also doing, just because I don't know, I like to buy stuff and I'm trying to make it to where it's an obtainable goal here in the Stitch from Stash land, is for every piece that I finish, if it's a big piece, then just the one piece, or if it's smaller, then for every 2 pieces that I finish, I get to buy a chart. And that chart will not come out of my Stitch from Stash budget. So kind of cheating, but it does push me to get some finishes in. And yeah, those are my rules. But this stuff is all purchased pre-July. And in fact, I actually just got an invoice today from Cross Stitch Express, Stitchery Express, something like that. I had done like one of the Me Please things on her Facebook group. This was back in June, and I actually just got the invoice this morning. So my husband's been getting the mail, and he keeps saying he's gonna tell on me because, I don't know if you just heard that, but a bird just hit my window. Anyway, my husband says he's gonna tell on me because I keep getting stuff in the mail, but this is all stuff that I got in June, and it's just been slow, and now it's showing up. So far, I've held true. All right, but what I did pick up last month, I got onto Carriage House Samplings. I jumped on there because I am participating in a stitch along of Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. That stitch along was brought up by my friend Andrea. It is on the Facebook group. I think it's Friends of Hawk Run Hollow. I will link it below. Fantastic group. It was created by Carolyn from Seazook Stitch. You all know her and love her. If you don't get to know her, get to love her. She has another Facebook group though, and it is Friends of Hawk Run Hollow. And on there, another one of my friends, Andrea, said, hey, who wants to do a stitch along of Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow? And well, this was back in June, so before I was stitching from Stash, and I had been eyeing quite a few of the Hawk Run Hollow pieces. And so I said, why not? I mean, everyone else is doing it. I gotta jump on that bandwagon. So I did pick that up. I went on to Carriage House Samplings. I had never been on their website before. There is a lot of good stuff on that website, so be warned. But this is Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. I have this guy. I am going to be stitching it starting July 15th because that is when the sale begins. And so I pulled as many DMC colors as I had on hand. Then I went on to 1, 2, 3 Stitch to pick up the remaining DMC that I was out of. There are going to be a few colors. I think there was maybe 3 colors that 1, 2, 3 Stitch didn't have. So I'm just going to pull something close from my stash as I get to those spots because I think I can make it work. Originally, I was actually going to stitch this not all together, but I was going to stitch it in blocks because, I don't know, I didn't have a piece of fabric big enough to stitch this all in one. But I now have a piece of fabric that's big enough that was slotted for something else, and I think I may switch it around and do this instead. So July 15th, Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. If you would like to join in, join the Facebook group. I will link it below. Super fun to see everybody's stuff. Anyway, I couldn't just buy the one chart by itself, so I picked up 2 other charts from Carriage House Samplings. I got Wash Day because it's a bird in a bird bath, and you all know I love my birds. And I really love these flowers. I may not stitch the alphabet letters. In fact, I don't think I'm going to. I'm gonna not stitch the alphabet letters. I'm gonna stitch the flowers, this guy here, and then this middle motif, of course. But I like the pops of red, but to me, the alphabet just makes it look a little busy for my taste. But I loved it. Then the other one that I picked up, I'm gonna be stitching this for a friend as a gift. And this friend does not watch Flosstube, so safe to show it as I go. But this is called Pantaloons. How fun is that? I don't know what's up with this little dog. It's like a dog cat. I don't try to get a close up. He's just got the strangest little head and little tail. But she will like it. She does a lot of work at the Renaissance Fair, and so her home is decorated with things like this, and so this will fit right in. So I don't know when I'll stitch it. One day I'll pick those up. Then I got some Happy Mail. My friend Andrea, who did the call for the Hawk Run Hollow stitch along, sent me a little goodie bag. First up was By the Bay Needle Arts Mountain View Bay. This is one that has been on my wish list for some time. You all know I love By the Bay. I've yet to finish one, but I own many. And one day there will be a lot of By the Bay. That rhymes. There you go. Have that. Then she sent me a tool, a detailer. It's called the Star Detailer. So I opened up the little, comes with a little instruction guide. Thank goodness, I had no idea what this was, other than it being beautiful. It's a star. I love stars, and it's gorgeous. But I didn't know what the heck this thing was. So pulled out the instructions, and it turns out it's supposed to help you lay like your finishing pieces. If the tail is too short, it pulls it underneath for you. And so this is going to come out as soon as I'm done filming and go into my stitch pieces. So I'm gonna try this today and report back on how that works, because if nothing else, it's fun and pretty. So thank you for this, Andrea. You're expanding my horizons in the stitch world. Then the last thing in my little goodie package here is a piece of beautiful Be Stitch Me fabric. It is a 16 count Aida, and it's opalescent, and it is like, whoa, opalescent. I mean, it's like, this is like the stars or something have come out. Looks like it is gorgeous. So the base color, there's no name on this. I think this is one that she may have won. But there's no name, but it's a very, very deep, deep gray. And then because of the opalescence on it, it makes it look more purple or blue. But it is just stunning. I have no idea what I'm gonna stitch on this. Maybe something for Halloween. Actually, you know, maybe something for Christmas. Anytime I see the opalescent on any fabric, of course, I automatically think Christmas, because it's like tinsel, you know, it's shiny and tinsel-like, and I like Christmas. So beautiful fabric. It's going to come out in something in the very near future. All right, I have a couple more fabrics to show. These fabrics are from Be Stitch Me, because like I said, I like to get the Friday night fight night in most weeks. I like to participate in the giveaways, and you can't participate in those unless you make a purchase. And so, twist my arm, I usually make a purchase. However, I am now stitching from stash, so I did not participate last night. The struggle was real, but I did not. All right, this piece here. So it is a 46 count linen, which is kind of ridiculous. I've never stitched on a 46 count. However, it was so pretty. I had to have it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, how I'm gonna use it, but it will happen, because look at this. I mean, seriously. It is beautiful. Yellow, brown, red. It's like fall, you know, fall kind of threw up on this piece of fabric, but in the best way possible. So it's beautiful, but it's 46 count. Whatever I stitch on this will be over 2. I can tell you that much. Something over 2, 1 over 2, fall themed. I don't know, but it was so pretty. I had to have it. We'll see what I put on there. All right, the last thing I had from Be Stitch Me is actually a special order piece. I picked up a half yard of s'mores. It's a Lugana 32 count. And this is what I think I'm going to end up using for Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. I need to measure just to be sure that it will fit. I feel like it should. I mean, it's a half yard. That's pretty dang big, but looks like this. It's big. It's a blanket. Like I could wrap up in this sucker, but yeah, looks like this. I think this will look really nice for Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. I originally ordered this to do the map at Hawk Run Hollow. Because I've probably seen it. I don't own it yet because I kind of switched my mind. But the map is the one that has the big hawk on the side, and obviously a map. So I wanted these browns and this type of modeling for that piece. But I don't know. I only have a couple days to figure it out. So if this does not get used for Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, then I will be stitching those in blocks of 4 on a smaller piece of fabric, which I also have in stash. But that starts on the 15th and it is the 11th. And so, yeah, I gotta figure that out. All right, one other thing I wanted to show you guys in the land of haul has to do with plans. So Carolyn Cesic Stitch put a comment up on my last video, rewind all the way to a month ago. She asked me how I do my rotation. I know sometimes I'll talk about my rotation when I'm talking about upcoming plans. And so now it's Jolly July, and so this month it's a little different. Just like Mania, obviously that ran different from my normal rotation plan. But typically, I don't go by time. You know, I don't track how long I work on something, although I would like to. I might start doing that. But so I don't track it by time or by stitch count. I like to put something into my rotation until I hit a certain goal on the piece. So whether that goal is a certain color or a certain, like a motif, or maybe an animal, or maybe, you know, like 3 skeins of floss, something like that. I basically make up my own mini goal because shocker, I like goals. I don't know. So I make up my own mini goal for each piece that I have. And then before Mania, I actually really tried to have only a few whips. So I kept my whips to, like, you know, I would have 1 sampler, 1 monochromatic piece, and then 1 like medium size or smaller piece. And I would have 1 or 2 of those different types started, or, you know, in like my whip pile. So each week I would put in X amount of time or 1 motif worth on my sampler, and then a little bit on the monochrome piece, and then, you know, a little bit on the smaller piece. And once I accomplished all of those things, then I could pick any of those things to continue working on for the rest of the week. So that's kind of how, it might sound a little bit complicated, but to me, whatever is in my weekly working pile would be next to my stitching chair, and then everything else is put away. And so every week, basically, if I get back into the swing of things, I'll record my Flosstube and then I can switch them out like I used to do. So that's how it worked. To help me with that, I picked up this thing. So I do have some planners. I have a stitch journal, which I stopped using this last month because, well, like I said, the stitchy bug was not there. So it'll come back out, no big deal there. But I was looking for a stitch planner, like a regular calendar planner. And I was added to a Facebook group that just talks about cross stitch and planning. And some people were talking about using some regular old calendars to track their cross stitching. So I do use the 24 hours of cross stitch planner, but I really just use the calendar piece. But for me, it's not big enough to write everything I want to write about stuff. So I was at Michael's. They had this beast of a desk calendar. I had a coupon, or it was on sale or something, I don't know. But not only did I love the colors, it has stickers. I know you can buy cross stitch stickers, but it has some stickers, so that kind of spoke to me. The idea with this is to not use it for work junk. It is to fill it with cross-stitching goodness. So I know I have some sales starting up in August. August is my birthday month, so I've got all kinds of fun stuff planned for that. So I'll be taking this out of the wrapper today and starting to fill this up, because to be honest, I have so many plans that it's like too much to keep in the brain anymore. And so now I need to get them onto this. So stay tuned. I will show you this next week. All right, that is all that I have for haul. Plans. My plans are to start Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow on July 15th as part of that sal. I plan to continue working on my Mirabilia fairy until then. And that is really it. I'm going to kind of keep it dialed into just those 2 projects for this next week. Giveaway. So rewinding back last month, we had this for a giveaway, Woodland Fairies. I used the Facebook comment picker, and Meredith Elaine, you are the winner of Woodland Fairies. So I cannot wait for you to get this. I will comment on your comment this time. Send me an email with your address and I will get that out in the mail on Friday. So just so you guys know, everyone who has won previous charts, all of those have been mailed, and so you all should have received them by now. I know one of them did go to the UK, so there is a chance that that one is still out floating in postage world, but you know, it takes a while to get over there these days. So beyond that though, everyone should have their goodies. So congratulations, Meredith. I hope you love the fairies. I still love this one here with the bee. She is adorable. For this week, I have 2 charts to give away. It is Jolly July, and so they're Christmas themed charts. I kind of feel like when it comes to Christmas, you are either Team Snowman or Team Santa. You may love both, but typically there's like, are you a snowman stitcher? Or are you a Santa stitcher? I am personally a snowman stitcher. I think it's because the snowmen are white and I like white and sparkly. So Team Snowman, if you are Team Snowman and you would like to stitch these snowmen, use the word snowman in your comment. All the normal rules apply. Don't say giveaway, please be 18 or older, just so I can get your address. I'll ship it anywhere in the world. They're just charts, so anywhere I will ship them. All right, so this one is Frosty Snowman. It is a Leisure Arts leaflet. We have these adorable ones. If someone actually stitches this on a sweatshirt, I don't know, bonus points, or I think we need to bring back sweatshirt stitching because seriously, that's cute. There's also this guy. And you can tell this is like from the early 90s. Yes, 1994, because I mean, I'm pretty sure, look at the earmuffs. How cute are those? Yeah. But if you would like to stitch the snowman and you are on Team Snowman, there's the first chart. If you are on Team Santa, then use the word Santa in your comment. This is A Whole Lot of Santas by Alma Lynn, Jeanette Cruz Designs, it says. And there's a whole lot of Santas. These are like old school Santas. Kind of rustic, super cute. I mean, look at this guy. It's a fisherman Santa. How cute is that? I'm not Team Santa, but I can still appreciate some stinking adorable charts. So if you would like to stitch these Santas, use the word Santa in your comment. And if you want to stitch them both, feel free to use both keywords. You know, you don't have to be Team Snowman or Team Santa, but I just feel like a lot of people are. It's one or the other. So snowman, Santa, or both. I will do the random comment picker on these for next week, and so stay tuned for that. Beyond that, we are 44 minutes in, so that's all I got. Thank you for being here. Happy to see you all again. I will see you back next week instead of next month, and happy stitching. Have a great day. Bye.